Welcome to Travel Chicks, where we talk travel, transformation, and inspiration. My name's Melissa. I'm the founder of Travel Chicks, and I want to let you know that it may be me, it may be one of our other travel chicks, but welcome on board this adventure. Please, if you love what you hear, like it. Leave a review and share this with your friends. We need to inspire more people to create their own travel story. Travel Talk Tuesday is a new little initiative that we are starting to bring you travel tips, ideas, experiences on different destinations, different ideas of things that you can do in these destinations. And then, of course, if we have something like a group trip that we're planning, of course, we're going to share that with you as well. Okay, so who the heck are we? If you have never joined us before, we are the Travel Chicks. I have Jenni, the Travel Chick, on today, and myself, Melissa, the Travel Chick. And our real main goal or mission here at Travel Chicks is to talk everything travel, transformation, and inspiration. And so we create this platform to bring a whole bunch of single or solo travelers together so that they can partner up and take these epic trips with, whether it's 2 people, 4 people, sometimes it's 10. I just took a group to Mazatlan in April for the solar eclipse, and there was like 18, 19 of us. And Jennifer has taken several groups. What is the largest group that you've taken so far?
Me?
Yeah.
I would say the largest one was 51 people to Cuba.
Yeah. So I mean, and you did the signature Greece pre-COVID. So you took
Yeah.
2 or 3 groups, 18, 20 people to Greece. Yeah, so we've been around a long time. I've been in the travel industry for 18 years, and Jennifer has now been in the travel industry almost 10 years, I think.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's 9 or 10. It feels
Yeah.
long.
So, in saying all this, we are excited because today we are going to discuss Belize. Belize is a place that I visited. Honestly, I think it was one of my first trips way back in like 2003. And Jennifer just got back this year. And so, Belize, in case you didn't know where it was, Belize is Central America. So, as you can see, and if you're not viewing on your computer right now, Belize is east of Guatemala and south of Cancun. So it's right on the Caribbean Sea, which is lovely. Belize has so much diversity that it's a really, really neat place to visit. And so here's some really cool fun facts about Belize. They actually have the lowest population density in Central America, with 35 people per square mile or 14 per square kilometer. The currency they use down in Belize is called the Belizean dollar, and it's more or less like 2 Belizean dollars for 1 US dollars, and USD is accepted everywhere in the country. One thing that's really cool that I just loved listening to the people speak down there. English is their official language, which is awesome for Canadian travelers. And it's actually the only English language speaking country in Central America. While the official language in Belize is English, Belizeans speak Creole. And I love it because, like, all the guys, and I'm sure you experience this too, Jennifer, is all the guys and the girls, like, you would always hear them say, Wadaguan, Wadaguan. Like, and it's like English, but it's like elongated English. It's like, what's going on? Wadaguan. And I put some examples here, like good morning. I can't even say it how they say it. And then yeah, some buenos dias, which is Spanish, and garifuna, buti binafi. So, anything else I missed that's kind of important about fun little facts?
I don't think so. Those are some great fun little facts that you put together there, Melissa.
Okay. And in case anyone is a historian, they Belize took independence in September 21st, 1981. So yeah, let's get going. WestJet. Some really cool announcements with WestJet is that they offer service to Belize City every Friday and Saturday, direct flights, which is amazing. Sorry, Edmonton people, but you may just have to take a short trip to Calgary to connect with these direct flights. So the service for Belize City starts November 2nd and then it ends June 18th. So that's when they stop the service year round.
The
What
thing
can
about that, Melissa, I just
Yep.
want to add with the flights, it's the same flight time as going to Cancun. So it's a
Oh,
very short flight. It's not very, yeah, which is really exciting. It's just a little over 5 hours, and again, depending on the flight path they take. So for us here from Calgary, it's the same as going to Mexico, and it's a
mhm.
direct flight, which is amazing.
Yeah, actually, that is a good point to mention because so many people, well, I shouldn't say so many. There's a handful of people that are like, we want to go somewhere new, but we don't know where. And the truth is, in Alberta, unfortunately, most of the places, if you want to go down to the Caribbean, you're always stopping in Toronto. And or it's flight routes that are not ideal. And so, yeah, that is a really good point that
Thanks. Yeah.
instead of Cancun, why not try something different like Belize? These are just some ideas of things to do: hiking, fishing, caving, canoeing, birding. I know in our Mazatlan trip, like half the people were birders. And so they love going out and photographing birds. And what you can see in Belize is like amazing: horseback riding, kayaking, sailing, scuba diving, snorkeling. And the most important amazing thing about Belize is that it has the largest barrier reef in the Northern Hemisphere. And you'll see by some of these next slides here that what you see underwater is simply amazing. It's like awestruck. So this is arriving into, actually, Jen, why don't you share?
Sure, sure. This is just arriving into San Pedro. So, one tip I would give when I go back again, yes, flying in direct. However, next time, what I had done is I split my time between two islands, San Pedro and Key Cocker. So we did the direct flight there, which was great. Got there in the afternoon. Then it's about a 20-minute ride to the port, and then to get to San Pedro, it's about an hour, hour and a half. So it made for a really, really long day. So next time I would land in the city of Belize
Mhm.
on land there, and I would get a nice hotel there and just spend the day there. I would just hang out and check everything out, and then in the morning get up early and take the ferry.
Yep. And
It
you
would
took,
it would make for, yeah, a much better trip.
and the ferry was just like a fast speedboat.
Yeah, yeah. Some of them had like double decker, some of them were just on the bottom, but it was fast, it was cheap. You never had to pre-book or worry about getting on. It was really good actually. But this is the view coming into San Pedro.
Yeah, and San Pedro and Cape Calcar are the two main spots off like the eastern coast of the mainland where you fly into the international airport of Belize City. And so I
Yeah,
would say these are the top two places most people choose to visit.
yeah. So we did. Oh, are you going to play the video? Look at that. Go for it. This is from my snorkeling tour by the reef. Like, I have never snorkeled with this many fish. We saw every possible water animal you could imagine. So, yeah, there's some more there. That was fun. We did that with a seagull too, where we got to feed them. But yeah, go ahead and play that one, Melissa. Yeah, there was probably about 10 of these there, the manta rays.
And
It's
and
just beautiful.
the stingrays, I mean, you weren't afraid, Were you?
No, God, no. They typically stayed on the bottom, so you were probably between 6 and 10 feet above them. But we saw a manatee. We saw, obviously the animals that you've already seen. We saw, we swam with sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, everything. We hit every single thing on the bucket list there to see. And the tour was a half-day tour. It was amazing. And then you ate right on. Oh, there's some of the sharks there on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some pictures of us snorkeling. So, it was just really, really great. But probably one of the best snorkelings that I've done ever, anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and this picture on the bottom here is Captain Morgan's Retreat, which is more north on the island of San Pedro. This is actually a place that we stayed, and I'm not sure if you remember the reality TV show called Temptation Island. It was all filmed here at this resort. And I believe actually when they were filming Temptation Island, this is what kind of put Belize on the map because it was all over the TV screens everywhere.
Yeah. It was absolutely amazing. So, the only thing I didn't do in the water, and it's like in your background, Melissa, the blue hole. I didn't go there, but Belize is not known for their beaches. They do have some beaches, but they're really known for their water activities. The snorkeling and scuba diving is world class. When I went in March, there was a couple that was in our group and they had a birthday. So they decided to take one of those little tiny two-seater planes and or four-seater planes, and they did a flyover of the blue hole, and they sent us some pictures of that. Absolutely amazing. In these pictures here, again, you can just see how relaxing it is. The picture in the bottom, that was in Secret Beach. No, is that Secret Beach? This is the beach on San Pedro, and you go there, and they actually bring your drinks out to you in the water. So I've seen lots of tables in the water and whatnot, but generally the waiters don't bring you your drink right out in the water. They would come wherever. And then you can see there that we stopped on the way to this beach. And then that is one of the drinks at just a roadside thing
Oh,
along the
wow.
way. There was more coconut in that. It was just insane. And you can't really see, but that's a little ladybug or a little bug that he made with the lime. I would suggest, I mean, you don't need to drive. You can walk everywhere in San Pedro.
Mhm.
However, I would highly recommend renting bikes or golf carts.
Yeah.
So to get to the beach, like we stayed, I would say, if the big city is in the middle, we were kind of on the northern end. So we were halfway between this big beach um, and our hotel and the city. Some of the bigger resorts are on the other side of the city. So like Ramon's, which is most of them aren't all inclusive. So Ramon's is one of the ones that's all inclusive. So to get there, you can do two things. You can rent your golf cart for $50 and take your golf cart out there and hang out there for the day and then come back. Or all of the taxis are golf carts. So
Yeah.
you can actually ask them anywhere, either island, Key Cocker or San Pedro. And you can just say, hey, how much for a tour? Or you'll say, I want to go to the beach for the day, and they'll drive you there so that you can have your cocktails and not worry about driving your golf cart back. And it's really, really reasonable. But
Hmm.
yeah, these were some really cool pictures of how relaxing it was.
Yeah, and I remember when I arrived to this port coming into San Pedro, you know, I'm just gonna say just be a little careful because what we experienced was all these little kids, and I understand they are trying to make money, but all these little kids came up and they wanted to take our luggage for us, but then of course they expected a tip. So just be aware of that. I mean, it's obviously no problem if you want to tip and you want someone to help you with your luggage. Otherwise, just hang on to your luggage, walk off the dock, and then, go to wherever
Yeah.
you're going.
And there wasn't any kids there when we got off, Melissa. So I don't know if, and we got off a few times because we went between the islands. So
Okay.
it wasn't as bad, but getting your bags is an experience. Because when you check in, you can't bring them on the boat with you, like they go underneath. Otherwise, it'd be, dangerous. You'd be tripping over them. But they take them out and they put them in a room, and then it's like chaos. Everybody comes up with your little ticket, and there's not really any system. So it was a little crazy. um, we stayed at a place called Purr. So Purr is, like I said, it's kind of halfway between the beach and the town. That is some of the meal that we got there. It is an adult only, and it has, I think there's about 9 cabanas that are kind of raised, and it has a pool with a restaurant and bar right there in it. And this is the welcome sign. So they have a welcome sign there welcoming everybody to your little cabanas. They all have a little plunge pool in them, and they all have a hammock on the deck, every single one of them. So it was a really cool place to stay. I 150,000% would stay in that hotel, like again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you can see here on the Palapa Bar and Grill, there's so many, like, I have to say, in all of my travels, I've never had food as good as in Belize. If you're a foodie, the food is spectacular, hands down, everything you ate. I mean, Greece is close second there. But yeah, it was very, very good food.
And I think the other thing to note for people too is that when you're on these islands in Belize, you're not finding huge, massive resorts. It's all boutique-y, small, little, quaint spaces. Is this a roadside Flintstones?
That is where we made that drink that I sent you. This is where they did. It's just like almost like a little pop-up bar. When you're driving to go to the beach, in your golf cart, they have these, like, their little pop-up bars, and they have food and drink. And that was probably the strongest, best drink we had on the island there. But we thought it was quite cute with the Flintstones. And in the bottom there, that's my friend Lila and I. And that is where that man that was carrying our drinks out, that's where you're sitting.
So this isn't even at a resort. This is
this is public beach. The biggest, this is the biggest beach there. And they have, I would suggest they have, like, it's like restaurants and bars all along. And like this one has green chairs and the next one has a different color, so that you know which bar you're sitting in. I would suggest checking them out, because some friends of ours stayed in, I don't know, the green chairs that's kind of by the front. And they said, oh, the lounge chairs were all broken. The food wasn't that great. Where we stayed, which was kind of in the center, we just drove up and they said, come sit here. So we did. And the lounge chairs were perfect. We were right on beach edge. The guy was coming in the water. The food was excellent. So yeah, that's where we stayed. We also went and checked out Ramon's Village, which is another resort there. And that's what that walkway out into the water is. So that's at the resort. So that is a place where people can get married, or you can walk out there and hang out. It was super windy. So if you got married out there, you'd have to have your hair up because it was super, super windy, but really cool resort. So I wanted to check it out, so that I had a couple of different resorts that I stayed at on that island, so that I could see what they were about. So that's what that is.
And there you go. That is the main form of transportation. Golf carts.
Yeah, that's
little planes.
Yeah, that looks like, yeah, we didn't do the plane. We did the ferry to get out there, but you can take those little planes. We had some people in the group that took the plane, and I think they maybe got there an hour and a half before us, because again, you're waiting, the flight times aren't, so wasn't really that much of a difference, but the price was quite a bit more. The truck stop is one of the big places in San Pedro, and it is exactly that. It's a truck stop. So it's like food vendors, right? So there's like 6 or 7 food vendors there. And then in the back, they have a big bar with pool tables and whatnot. And they have like a boardwalk that goes out over the water. Lots of crocodiles in Belize. So lots of signs at the truck stop. Yep, there you go. Crocodiles, don't do anything stupid. Their sense of humor is hysterical. Yeah, don't do anything stupid. We don't have a hospital. So you'll see signs like this with this sarcastic kind of humor where they're being serious. Don't go in the water. There's crocodiles there, but they do it with humor. And that is at the back of the truck stop, that there. It's a sitting area where you can sit and enjoy. And that's like an evening bar. So you can go there. It starts at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I think they go till three o'clock in the morning or whatever, but great pizza there. The other picture there, that's the front of Ramon's Village. So you can kind of see how that one's really, really tropical. You go in and it's all these paths to the main building, and then they have the beach on the backside. So I think, Ramon's Village, Pure, they were both fantastic. Yeah.
This I wanted to share with everybody listening. It's called Ian Anderson's Caves Branch. Did you end up checking this out, Jen, or no?
No, I didn't, because it's on the mainland. So I
Yeah.
think next time I go, I would probably spend the first night right in Belize City and then go out to, San Ignacio area, which I think this is, and do some of the ruins and tours that you're going to show. And then I might do just one island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's exactly right. We rented a car from Belize City and we drove out to this jungle lodge. And I'm telling you, it was quite an experience. It was quite an experience to drive, number one. And number two, this place is located in Belmopan. And so this guy that created this, he's actually from Canada. He started this company 20 years ago. And I mean, there's so much to do. What was really cool about this, you'll see in the bottom left, it says a cave tour. On this cave tour, you are taken behind a tractor with a big black tire tube, and you get off, you carry your tire tube into the water, and then you enter this cave. As you can see right below the cave, and you're swimming uphill probably a kilometer to get in. You're geared up with a helmet and a light, so a headlight right on your, kind of like a miner. And once you get into this cave, I mean, you're in the cave for a good 7 hours. You're learning about the history of the Mayan people. You are witnessing and seeing bats. There is over 100 different species of bats that are like flying all around. And one of the incredible things is the stalagmite and stalagmite that forms from the condensation and water over the years. And it truly is a sight to see. And then they have inside of the cave, they have some areas that are blocked off that have artifacts. So you can kind of view what the Mayan people used to eat with and what they used to do with their families. And it's crazy how you're inside this cave for 7 hours, but it is so worth checking out and learning about the history of the Mayan people. The actual lodge that you stay in is literally in the middle of the jungle. So at night, they have screens over your bed. They have only a oil lantern light. So you light it when you go to sleep at night. Otherwise, it's pitch black. And the sounds that you hear in the evening is, well, it could kind of freak you out. And some of the bugs, like we saw tarantulas in the morning when we would go down to the main lodge for breakfast, just crawling around on the ground are like huge tarantulas. So it's like quite.
You don't see that on the islands.
Yeah.
There's no bugs.
No. And right here on the right is the showers. So, I mean, it's a little bucket that you turn the water on and it's chilly. And when we were having showers in the morning, we would look down and there's big giant bullfrogs joining us for the shower. It was quite an experience. And then they have a spa on site, so you can have the Belizean mud like exfoliated all over your body, which obviously is very good and healing and all that stuff. And so we did that experience as well. And there's Jennifer swinging on.
Yeah, it's just this is a coffee restaurant, and it had this great big swing there that you could swing over the water. So it was just really, really fun. And upstairs they had a upstairs piece as well where you could sit and just overlook the water and all the boats and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I found San Pedro is quite a bit bigger than Key Cocker, and the beach there was very busy. Like I said, it was lots of bars and restaurants and whatnot. When you go to Key Cocker, they have the main island, which has a similar kind of a beach right at the split. Most people stay on the bigger side. I actually stayed on the smaller, the northern side of the split. There's only like 5 restaurants there, right? It's and 2 convenience kind of stores. We stayed over there, and at the end of that is where Secret Beach is, and it's on that far side. And that there is tranquil and quiet. It's just one restaurant and bar, and very small, and they want to keep it small. You can ride your bike. So you can take a little ferry over the 50-foot split between the 2 sides of the island. You can take a little ferry over and then ride a bike, walk, golf cart, however you want to get there. But most people stay on the large side of the island, the south side. So I think there's probably like 50 plus restaurants. It's not that big. And again, there we paid, I don't know, $40 US and had a golf cart tour where they take you around the whole place. And we actually got to see a crocodile that time. And we drove the whole island. It took us about 2 hours in the golf cart, stopping and looking at things. So for a quieter stay, I would go there. If you want more lively and nightlife, San Pedro. So depending on what you're looking to do, either one of those places, you can take the tours to go out to the snorkeling on the reef and the blue hole and all of that. So both of them have that.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic.
Yeah. And I guess from my experience 15 years ago in Belize, when we were there, I think we took 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. And so we gave ourselves time to check out the island as well as check out the mainland. Of course, when we rented the car, I personally found it a little bit uneasy in Belize City. And things may have changed now, but for 2 white girls, and I mean, back then we were quite young and kind of naive, and I didn't really feel super safe. We actually hired a taxi driver, and he even shared with us, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to bring you for dinner. I'm going to bring you to the restaurant for dinner, and I'm just going to wait outside until you're done. And it was very, very nice. Like, the other thing too that you need to note is when you're in Belize City, and you want to take a taxi, I forget the code, but there is a little code, and I'm sure if you Google it, you'll see a sticker that they have, because it's very hard to tell the difference between taxi cabs and not taxi cabs. And the only difference is like a little tiny sticker.
Yeah, and the taxi cabs with the sticker, they don't look like a taxi cab.
Yeah.
So you would know, like they do it. I have a guy there that will, I can use WhatsApp. You can message him. He will pick you up and take you wherever you want. And he will do, like Melissa said, take you on a tour. He'll take you to the jungle, drive you there, drop you off for your tour, drive you back to the port if you're going back. It seems to have improved. So when I was there in March, it was quite a bit safer. But just like anywhere, you're not going to be stupid. You're going to stay in the touristy area, and you're not going to go down dark streets in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
Tourist area, you're pretty safe. If you want to go exploring to those out of the way areas, I would reserve those for the middle of the day. And that's the same here. I would do that as well, right?
Another thing that we also did is we love checking out the local transportation. And so we went to the main bus terminal in Belize City when we were there, and we took a bus out to the Belizean Zoo. I wouldn't say the zoo is a hot spot to see compared to the zoos we have here in like Calgary and Edmonton, but it's still an experience. And when we were riding the bus, it was like a school bus, and literally people got on this local bus with chickens and hens, and it was jam-packed, and it was super hot and muggy. But if you're the type of person that likes, immersing yourself in those sorts of things, definitely do it. We did it, and we totally felt safe. We knew where we were going. Yeah. And what else? I think we've kind of covered everything that are the main spots to see. And if you have any questions, we are possibly thinking of putting a group trip together in 2025. Based on interest, if you have an idea of a trip that you want to plan, please reach out to any of the travel chicks and we can see if we can partner some more people up together. And thank you, Jen. Thank you for taking the time today and joining us. Oh, you're muted.
Whoops. I was saying thanks. It was great. I absolutely love Belize and I highly recommend, and I definitely will go back.